The driveway still smelled like grilled meat and spilled soda when I realized I couldn't feel my legs. I remember the balloons first, gold, metallic, half sinking toward the lawn as the afternoon heat softened them, then the concrete against my cheek, then Daniel's voice. Just stand up. Stop faking it. I tried to answer him, but the words didn't organize themselves properly. My hands were scraped. My hip throbbed. My legs were absent, not painful. Not weak, just gone. His mother stepped closer, heels clicking near my face. This is his birthday. You couldn't wait one day without making it about you. There's something uniquely humiliating about being accused of performance while you're losing control of your body. I could hear neighbors pretending not to stare. Someone's child was still laughing near the cake table. I tried to move my toes. I willed them. I pictured them curling. Nothing. The shouting continued above me like commentary on a show I hadn't agreed to star in. Daniel crouched down and snapped his fingers near my face. You tripped. That's it. Get up. It wasn't cruelty in his tone. It was irritation, annoyance, as if I'd interrupted the schedule. A neighbor, Mrs. Alvarez, from across the street, said quietly, "I'm calling an ambulance." Daniel stood up immediately. That's not necessary. But she had already stepped away with her phone. Time stretched. I focused on breathing. Inhale, exhale. My body felt divided, arms trembling, chest tight, legs non-existent. When the paramedics arrived, relief washed over me so sharply I nearly cried. Professionals, neutral faces, someone who would test instead of accuse. Daniel intercepted them first. She fainted. She's dramatic sometimes. His mother added, she does this when she's overwhelmed. I wanted to protest, but speaking felt expensive. The lead paramedic, a woman with steady eyes and a low voice, knelt beside me. "Can you move your feet for me?" I can't," I whispered. She tapped below my knee with her reflex hammer. Nothing. She tried the other leg. Her expression changed, not panic, not sympathy, something clinical and focused. She leaned closer. "Did you fall from standing?" "Yes." "Did you hit your back?" "I think so." She pressed along my spine. There was pain higher up, but still no sensation below my waist. She stood slowly and stepped a few feet away, speaking into her radio. Her voice was calm, but it carried. Possible acute spinal compromise, no lower limb response, requesting immediate transport and police assistance. Scene conflict present. Police assistance. The word police moved through the driveway like a sudden drop in temperature. Daniel's posture shifted first. His arms, which had been crossed, fell to his sides. His mother stopped speaking entirely. 2 patrol cars arrived within minutes. Not sirens, just presence. The officers separated people without drama. One asked Daniel to step aside for questions. The paramedic returned to me. "We're going to stabilize your neck and back. Don't try to move." I didn't have to. Inside the ambulance, I stared at the ceiling and felt something stranger than fear. I felt clarity, not about my body. That was terrifying and uncertain. But about the driveway, about the speed with which irritation had replaced concern, about how easily my pain had been rewritten as manipulation. At the hospital, imaging revealed swelling along my thoracic spine, compression caused by the fall. The neurologist explained that immediate intervention could prevent permanent damage. He also asked a question that lingered. "Have you had untreated back trauma before?" I hesitated. There had been a fall months earlier. I'd said I slipped in the kitchen. Daniel had insisted I was clumsy. I never saw a doctor. I said, "I'm not sure." Surgery followed, then days of monitoring. Sensation returned gradually, pins and needles first, then faint pressure, then the ability to twitch a toe. When I moved my foot for the first time, no one cheered. The nurse nodded and documented it. Mrs. Alvarez visited. She told me the police had asked several questions on the driveway, about the argument before I fell, about how long I'd been on the ground before anyone called for help. Daniel came once. He looked smaller in the hospital chair. "You scared everyone," he said quietly. "Not, I'm sorry." "You scared everyone." I looked at him for a long time and realized something unsettling. He believed that. A week later, a lawyer arrived, not theatrically, not angrily. He was someone I had consulted months ago about updating financial documents. a quiet precaution I'd never explained to Daniel. Mrs. Alvarez had called him after witnessing the scene. He reviewed the medical reports, the paramedic's statement, the police incident summary. "This is serious," he said, not in a dramatic whisper, in a measured tone, both medically and legally. He didn't talk about revenge. He talked about documentation, about future safety, about separation of assets during recovery. Power didn't return to me in a single moment. It accumulated in signatures, in records, in the fact that professionals had written down what happened before anyone could reframe it. I began physical therapy 3 weeks later. Parallel bars, careful steps, sweat instead of humiliation. Daniel stopped visiting. His mother never came. There was no explosive confrontation, no courtroom showdown, just paperwork filed quietly, living arrangements adjusted, a marriage dissolving not in fire, but in silence. The day I walked unassisted across the rehab room, no one applauded. My therapist simply said, "Good again." I did it again. I think about the driveway sometimes, about how quickly I was disbelieved, about how loud dismissal can be. But I also remember the paramedic's voice, steady, unmistakable, requesting police support. The moment the narrative shifted from accusation to assessment, I didn't win anything that day. I was simply believed. And that turned out to be enough.